Hey, you all, and good morning. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the long, lonesome road. We are in Mississippi somewhere. I left New Orleans last night. Just tried to get a few hours north before I rested. I think the town was, it was Bentonville, Mississippi, maybe like an hour south of Memphis, where I ended up getting a hotel room and staying. Ended up getting in late. It was about I think about 10:30 when I finally stopped, and sadly that is pretty normal for me, and it's been very normal this past 2 weeks. This Great River road trip. First of all, let me just say, this Great River road trip is probably one of my favorite road trips I've ever done. And I love doing the roads, the old roads. I love doing Route 66. I did the Lincoln Highway, Dixie Highway. Had a great time on all those. But to me, just personally, I think this may be my favorite, the Great River Road. Just being there with the river is like the constant companion. Being there along the river, seeing the river turn into a stream, turning into this mighty thing, watching it change, seeing how it affects different people, how the history behind the river, how the river shaped America, just learning all this. I learned so much about steamboats the past 2 weeks, more than I ever thought I would know about steamboats. And just some fascinating stories, the story of the Sultana, the story of the siege of Vicksburg, all these just amazing pieces of American history that happened here alongside the Mississippi River. We're not really far from the river. I'm actually headed back up. Yeah, so kind of how it is. And this is like, for this road trip and for most road trips, I don't have a lot of downtime. I always try, the one thing that's important to me, I always try to get 8 hours of sleep, because I never want to be tired behind the wheel. That's that's one of my hard and fast rules, is that need to get good sleep, if you're going to be driving long distances. Otherwise, you can fall asleep behind the wheel. That'd be the worst possible thing that could happen. But it's just important to get rest. So even though I'm running myself ragged, I make sure I get those 8 hours of sleep. That's pretty important. But other than that, my time is pretty much consumed with this channel, which is fun in a lot of ways, because I've got to go on this epic, amazing road trip. I get to go around the country, get to see all these amazing things. So, of course, wouldn't trade it for anything. But my days are pretty much get up, we start filming, find something, and then film, try to get, to the next point, and get in the hotel room. A lot of times get into the hotel room late, 9, 10, 11 at night, and then get to editing. It takes me around an hour to edit a video. Actually taking me a little longer than normal on this trip, but about an hour, and then by then it's time for sleep. And a lot of times I'll maybe end up watching a YouTube video or two, just because I want a little bit of downtime. But then you end up going to sleep and repeating the process over. So it gets intense. It's fun. It's intense. When I was younger, this channel's been going on for 10 years. So I was a little younger when I started. And when I was younger, it was nothing. But get a little older, it does. Sometimes it starts to catch up with me. And after 2 weeks on the road, I'm taking it a little bit easy today. I thought, you know what? We could stop and see the Memphis Zoo. I hear it's a good zoo, but that's probably going to be 5 or 6 hours in the sun. It's like 90-something degrees. I'm like, today I think we're just going to drive. But I did want to pop in with you, give you guys a kind of update on where I'm at, talk a little bit about myself, this trip, what's going on, and in my life. Oh, before I forget, I do want to show you guys. There's the pressed pennies from this trip. The year of the pressed penny, 2024, the year of the pressed penny. Drastically getting out of control. This is just from the last 2 weeks. There may be a few in here from Gatlinburg, but other than that, these are all from the Great River Road. So I'm gonna have a pretty intense collection of pressed pennies when all is said and done, when the year of 2024 is over. And then me, I'll probably still collect them even after 2024 is over. Now, I do get comments. I was talking about driving and my process. I do get comments about, like, how do I work things out? Do I plan everything out? Do I just try to be spontaneous? And it's honestly, it's like somewhere like in between. Traditionally when I started the channel, I would meticulously map everything out because I didn't want to miss anything. So I wanted to make sure I saw all these different things. And so when I plan a trip, I kind of, figure out like these must-do things that I absolutely do not want to miss, and make sure that they're in there. There may be some things that if I have time, I'll stop for them, and then some things that are maybe, take it or leave it. And then of course, some of the most fun things is just like spontaneous things. Of course, those can throw off like the timing, but you want to leave room for that. You want to try to leave a little room for, like, things that you stumble upon that you don't want to have to you don't want to have to pass up. Some of the museums, that I filmed on this were just totally spontaneous. I just saw them and popped in. But the museums, I feature a lot of museums on this channel, a lot of small museums, some large museums. They can be very tricky when it comes to timing out things. Now, a lot of the small museums will close, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock even. So sometimes you got to, those kind of dictate my pace a lot, because, things, staying late now. So as far as like seeing things outside, statues, fiberglass sculptures, things like that, I don't really have to time out as much because I can always see them as long as it's not dark. But those little museums have kind of dictated how fast I went along the Mississippi. And so I, ahead of time. And you know what? To be honest with you, it's not always easy to figure out when something is open. It can be somewhat maddening. So you look it up and you got the times on Google. And usually those are pretty good, but sometimes they're not updated, and, it's running off a schedule from years ago. So you can't trust them. You can go to a website. Some places don't put their hours on their website. That's crazy to me, but they don't. Some places, put their hours on social media. You can't trust a website or social media. If it's like in the info, you can't always trust it because they don't always update it. You never know. So usually the best way, this is what I use, the best way to figure out is, like, you look at the actual posts on social media. So a lot of places are like, hey guys, we're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 1 to 3 this weekend. So that's like, okay, if you got it in like a recent post, you kind of know, but it can be tricky. And, sometimes the posted hours, they don't adhere to them. Usually I like to double verify. Like, you get like at least 2 sources that say what their hours are, and you fall in there. So yeah, that's like, oh man, that's one of the most stressful parts of this job, is just timing out when these small museums are going to be open. So a lot of times that's what dictates where I stop, where to make sure I wake up in the morning is, to hit these museums. And I still miss some of them that I wanted to check out. I missed the Pearl Museum the Pearl Button Museum. Yeah, where was that at? That was in Muscatine. Iowa, I think. They had a museum and a riverboat here in Mississippi that I missed out on, apparently. They're closed on weekends, even though it's posted that it's open on weekends. There was the New Madrid Earthquake Museum. So there's a massive earthquake on the Mississippi that actually changed the route of the Mississippi and made it flow upstream for a period of time. There's a museum in what is it? In New Madrid. I forget what state it is, but it's a museum on the earthquake. I just couldn't make that one work. Like, just timing it out, it had to be on the chopping block. That's one I regret. I regret all of them I have to miss. So you guys might have figured this out. I'm kind of a completionist. I don't like to leave things out, so I try to cram everything together. One of the reasons these videos end up being 40, 50 minutes, an hour. And, matter of fact, give me some opinions, give me some feedback. Would you rather the shorter videos? Because when I started this channel, a video would be like 15 minutes. 15 minutes is probably like the longest I'd go. Otherwise, I feel like that was just crazy. Now, I very rarely have a video that's less than 30 minutes. So I just like to get some feedback. That's kind of how I operate on this channel. This is what I use to buy my new camera. I just asked you guys what you thought, because you're the viewers. You know better than anyone. Do you like the long videos? Do you like the short videos? What do you think? Just what is your ballpark of what the good length for a video is? Because YouTube, the stats show me that people stick around, people watch the videos, even though they're long. No matter how long I post a video, the average view rate is about half. A lot of that's skewed because some people watch the first few minutes and drop out. But so people are watching the longer videos, which is awesome. I appreciate it. Really appreciate people watching the longer videos. I just don't know. What I don't know is like if people are driven off by the videos being longer. Like if people are not clicking on them in the first place because they're long. It's something I always worry about. People seem to like the longer videos, but would maybe more people click on them if they were a little bit shorter? I just, I don't have the answer to that. So I ask you. I ask you guys about that. And I'm kind of rambling here, but I was talking about the camera. I'm still using the Pocket 3. It's not perfect. I'm still figuring it out, but I think I'm sticking with it. I think it's proved itself as a reliable camera. The microphone stuff is still stressful. I'm still trying to use the Bluetooth. I found out I was putting it, it's not on right now. I'm using the onboard, but I'd put it here and the sound would sound kind of muffled, and people pointed out that's because I think it was touching my throat and it was picking up the vibrations from my throat. So I moved it like down here and it sounded a lot better. I think that looks silly in the videos, having that hang there, but I don't know. Still working things out like that, like how much I want to use the Bluetooth microphone. Because there's some audio issues. I feel like when I'm editing, that the sound is uneven. Some parts of the video it's too quiet, some it's too loud. I really don't know the best way to fix that. It's embarrassing in a way, but in another way I don't care. I'm not very knowledgeable about tech. I'm not very knowledgeable about cameras. That's why I asked you guys for help. Don't know a lot about photo editing or video editing. See, I don't even know what it's called. Video editing. And that's one thing that got me hung up on this trip was I use a video editing program called Movavi, and it just stopped working for me. The videos would appear as just like these green and red blobs. You could hear the sound, but it would just see this green and red blob. And I tried updating to a newer version. I tried using an older version of Movavi, and it just didn't work. And I'm panicking, absolutely panicking, in my hotel room. It's late at night trying to figure out how I'm going to get this video edited. I was already having internet issues with the hotel. So ended up downloading something because I wanted something simple, something similar to Movavi, something I didn't have to completely relearn. I tried about half a dozen different editing programs. I settled on, I think it's CapCut, which is made by the same people that make TikTok, so it's probably not even going to be around for much longer. But it was the simplest. You know, and simple's kind of what I go for. You know, there's a fast turnaround on these videos. So I want it as simple as possible. I want to be able to edit within an hour and get it out there. You know, I'd love to put some more flashy stuff, you know, put a little more shine on the videos, but with the way I put them out, you know, I play to my strong suits. I'm not a good video editor, but I feel my strong suits. I'm willing to get out there, willing to drive long distance, willing to see stuff that other people haven't seen. I feel like that's my strong suit. So that's kind of what I lean into. And the video editing, I try to make it simple, easy to watch, and I hope you guys appreciate that. You know, I don't have a lot of, you know, fancy effects, don't have a lot of graphics. You know, the graphics I do use are created by my friend Jeff from Creaties, who's been a huge help to the channel over the years. Yeah, but that's where I'm at with video editing, and I'm all over the place here. Now, one thing people do talk about is, or ask me about in the comments section, is like traveling, you know, alone, driving long distances alone. And I'm the kind of person that you know, I don't mind being alone. I don't mind doing things alone. You know, I love people. I love being around people. I love talking to people. I love my friends, but at the same time, I appreciate being alone too. And with the way, with how I travel, like I explained earlier, traveling up and down the road, it's hard. It's hard to other people to be able to keep up with that pace, or other people to be able to coordinate. You know, other people have opinions. They may not want to visit the same things I do. So a lot of times it's just easier. Of course, you know, especially like doing a road trip like this, the Great River Road trip. Like I was moving so fast, you know, having to make decisions. It'd just be so hard to coordinate that with another person. And another reason I haven't done like a lot of meetups, I haven't like met up with anyone necessarily on this road trip, because it's just so little time, I'm pretty much working, editing, sleeping, and, you know, hopefully at some point getting to spend some time at home. And a lot of you, another question, a fair question, is like, why does Jen not travel with me more? You know, and I'd love for Jen to travel with me more. You know, she is, she's my best friend. You know, we talk every day on the phone. You know, we text back and forth continually. And just a big part of that is, you know, Jen, and she's talked about this on her channel. If you want to hear, you know, I'll let her talk about the gory details, but you go to Jenny Penny on YouTube. She's done some videos talking about her health. She was recently diagnosed with lupus, which is a very, very serious autoimmune condition. And Jen's health just does prevent her from doing this sort of road trip with me. Hopefully, you know, she's gotten some help with doctors. You know, I don't know. You know, we try to be realistic. But at least she's gotten people to pay attention to what's going on, and she's gotten people to take her serious. A really sad fact of life was that she really struggled to get people to take her serious, and I'm so happy that people are taking her serious. And maybe we can get to a point where she is traveling with me more often, that she is sitting here in the passenger seat next to me on more occasions. Now, when Jen travels with me, usually, you know, if I'm on the East Coast, sometimes she'll drive out and spend a few days with me. if I'm going to be in like the same spot for a few days, or she will fly out. She does a lot of flying now. She'll fly out, especially if I'm out in California or out on the West Coast or somewhere that's a little bit further. She'll hop a plane, fly out, meet me. You know, we can spend a few days together there. You know, but a lot of times, you know, when we're traveling, even if she's in the same place, a lot of times, you know, we get up, we have plans, and unfortunately, you know, because of her health, she just can't do it. She just tells me, it's not happening today. I'm not feeling good. And then, you know, I end up going to film something on my own. So even when I'm with her, a lot of times I'm filming on my own, and then, you know, we'll, you know, hang out, get dinner, watch a movie or something in the evening, or go do something a little more low key. But so yeah, that's kind of the long and short of Jen's health. Of course, if you want to know more about that, please do go over to her YouTube channel. I'm sure she can explain it a lot better than I can. Yeah, but I'm just, you know, fingers crossed. She's getting the help that she's needed for a long time with her health, and fingers crossed that, again, she'll be spending more time in this passenger seat if things start looking better as far as her health. Because I love her, and like I said, I love her. She's my best friend, and I don't spend nearly enough time with her. I've not, and that's another thing. And this is on me. This is no one's fault but mine. Is that I've not spent that much time at the house this year. Less time than I thought I would. I've just, you know, been busy, been traveling, you know, get events, get ideas, and I'm out here, ends up taking longer, ends up not being home. So trying to work out that balance. You know, when I get home, I get worried that, you know, people get bored of videos from home, that I need to get out there and film other places. So trying to find balance in my life. And I've said this over and over and over in videos, and I'm trying to find balance. I've been saying it for probably 3 or 4 years now. I may need to scale back videos. I don't know to what level, but I think uploading a video every day, as much as I kind of love doing it, as much as receptive as you guys are to it, I may need to slow down, because I may need more time for me and for Jen and for my kids. You know, I just may need to spend more time not doing this YouTube channel. You know, no plans on wrapping this up, no plans on ending, no plans on even really cutting it down to any major level. I just think I have been doing near daily videos for several years, and I think it may just be getting unrealistic at this point to keep up that workload. So I think maybe, you know, maybe once when I'm home, I will go down to every other day. You know, maybe I'll spread videos out a little more. We'll see. We'll see. You know, it's sorry. I apologize. I'm just thinking about it, you know. I want to spend more time with Jen. I want to spend more time with my family, and I just haven't been allowing myself to do that. So these videos will keep coming out, and they will keep coming out with great regularity. You know, I don't see it going anywhere under every other day. I think that's a pace. I've done that pace before, every other day. I may go back to that. I probably will, at some points, be due every day. If I'm on a major road trip like this is guaranteed to be every day. But as far as just every day, that probably needs to end, because I've put this unrealistic expectation on myself, and I think I need to adjust that. While I'm rambling, maybe just give a quick update on my health. For about a year now, I have been eating differently. I changed the way I eat. I've mentioned it on the channel here. I try to eat low carb. I'm not super strict about it. I'm not strict enough where I call it keto. You know, I use some keto products because I just try to keep eating well. I keep making better choices. You know, I don't, you know, and I do eat on the channel. You'll see me eat bread. You'll see me eat burgers. You'll see me eat fried things. And that's when I eat, you know, when I want to eat that sort of stuff, I will eat that stuff. But it had gotten to a dangerous point. I was eating fast food probably 2 or 3 times a day. I would stop at a gas station, I'd buy like 3 candy bars. I would eat them over the course of the day. I was just not taking care of my body. I didn't go to the doctor for over 2 years. And when I went to the doctor, it wasn't good. So I made the decision. You know, my diabetes was out of control. Some other things were out of control. The doctor was very worried about me. So I started making the better choices. I got on Ozempic for my diabetes. I lost between 20 and 30 pounds. I've gained some of that back. I've leveled out at about, I think about 16 pounds is where it kind of leveled out. So I'm kind of I was like 350 and then I dropped 16 pounds. It seems to be the consistent level. So I'm not losing weight anymore, but I'm kind of maintaining that. And, you know, that's all fun and good. But when I went to my doctor, my follow-up, I was way better shape. Like my sugar, my diabetes was down, like, it wasn't even considered pre-diabetic, you know, with the levels, with the medication and the change in eating, it had gotten to a very healthy level. So I'm doing really good health-wise, and I'm fully aware that it would just take a little bit to get back to being in a bad place. So that's why I have Car Kitchen. I've kept this for a year running now. I have my cooler back there. I keep it full of stuff to keep myself from stopping and just eating the fast food, eating the garbage. So, you know, I try to have hot meals when I can, you know, when I can find something good or find something reasonably healthy. But I always have that as the backup. So I'm never like, well, gotta go. Because there was like one haunt season where it was like literally every night I'd get out of the haunt and the only thing open would be McDonald's. So I ended up eating McDonald's for dinner every night. I don't even like McDonald's. And I was eating it every single day. So now instead of McDonald's, I can, you know, make myself something, you know, low carb, a little healthier out of the Car Kitchen. Just to keep myself from the bad habit of just eating bad stuff. So to me, like, my philosophy is every meal is its own choice. I make a choice. I make good choices when I can. I make halfway good choices if I can't make a good choice. And sometimes, you know, I make a bad choice. I don't call it cheating. I don't call it, you know, a cheat meal, because I feel that's defeating. I feel like my philosophy is you set this high standard for yourself that I am never going to eat this again. I'm never going to eat another carb. I'm never going to eat anything bad again. I feel like that is a setup for failure. That's something that you can't maintain your whole life, something that is unrealistic. And once you keep disappointing yourself and keep breaking your own rules, then eventually you give up. So what I have is, you know, the idea is that you know, I can't disappoint myself. I can't break myself up, because I build those rules in that I can have what I want when I actually want it. Not just because I'm being lazy, not just because I just want to go through a drive-through, but I can, you know, I'm in charge of those decisions, and every meal is an opportunity for a fresh decision. So that's my philosophy there. I did want to apologize about that. I was sitting in the car and my camera was on the dashboard. I was recording, and the sun, like from the sun, came through my windshield. I guess it overheated the camera. It just quit recording. I guess it was been running for a while, so it had you know, overheated one way or the other. And I'm here at this rest area in Mississippi. I've walked out onto the trail a little bit. I have kind of a fascination with rest areas. For one, if you have to go to the bathroom on the road, you stop at a gas station, you don't know what you're getting into. You could be walking into a clean bathroom, or you could be walking into a total nightmare. But rest areas, with maybe a few exceptions, tend to be very clean. They take care of them. They usually have someone on staff checking them, cleaning them. Now Buc-ee's always has clean bathrooms. That's one of the reasons people stop there, is because they know they get a clean bathroom. I'm trying to think if there's any other gas station chains that have like guaranteed clean bathrooms. I don't think so. I generally stop at larger gas stations. The smaller ones tend to have like the one toilet that's like just kind of sketchy, and I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't sit here talking about gas station toilets. It's kind of disgusting. But I love stopping at the rest areas too. They have sometimes they have fun exhibits. Sometimes they give information. Sometimes little pieces of flair. And if you're a Pokemon Go player, it's a good place to stop and catch a few Pokemon. There usually is some Pokemon. There usually is some Pokestops at rest areas. So you can pull off the road and play a little Pokemon on your journey. But actually, what I was going to talk about before my camera started frying in the sun, I periodically like to give life updates on this channel. I've been giving over the last couple years. I'll set aside a video to just kind of talk about what's happening in my life, and I haven't done a life update in a while. And then I realized the reason I hadn't given a life update is just my life has been surprisingly stable. Now, I talked about some of the issues that I feel like I need to spend more time at home. I feel like I need to spend more time with the people I love and care about. But besides that, the last 2 or 3 years of my life, actually probably the last 4 years of my life, has been pretty tumultuous. I went through a divorce for about a 2-year period. I didn't have a permanent residence. I traveled around. I stayed with Jen. Sometimes I stayed at my house in the extra room. Sometimes I stayed with my mom, but I just did a lot of traveling. And that's probably where I got my bad habits about constantly filming, constantly traveling. But yeah, my life has been, in the last couple months, and in 2024, my life has been pretty stable. Like, I'm so used to like all these upheavals. We had the divorce, we had the big move, but we're moved in. Things are going great. Like I said, I wish I got to see her much, but me and Jen are doing really good. I feel like my daughter completed her first year of college. So most of all, my life has gotten surprisingly stable. I'm almost not used to it being as stable as it is. I think, I don't want to get too deep into the psychology of things, but I think maybe when my life was tumultuous, part of the way I dealt with it was focusing on work. And I think I think even though now things are not tumultuous, things are pretty easygoing, pretty smooth sailing in my life. I think I've still got that mindset locked down for work. So that's something. That's the one thing that I probably, like I said, my life is going great. My life is, and maybe I shouldn't say these things out loud because something bad will happen. But yeah, my life's been pretty easygoing this past year, this past 5 months. And I guess, yeah, the only real thing I'm just trying to tweak is just learning how to have downtime, learning how to not work all the time, how to take my mind away from the channel sometimes. And it's a part of that is just who I am too, my personality. I don't do things halfway. I do things all in. So I've really immersed myself in my job. Balance is a difficult thing for me, just in general. Some of that ties into my autism, being on the spectrum, that people with autism tend to have very extreme interests. There's not a lot of in between. There's not a lot of black and white. It's either all in or all out. And yeah, I really put, even the past 10 years, I've put a lot into this channel. It made it a pretty big part of my life. Here's a picnic table. Right here. So let's sit down for a moment. Here, we get the camera set up. Got a little knob here that can make the camera go up or down. There we go. What's that? Is that good? There we go. So yeah, that's where we're going, and we're headed into my busy season, actually. I consider summer to be the busy season, summer and fall. So really my only slow season is spring, and I still was completely busy the entire spring. So summer's busy because that's when the theme parks are open. The amusement parks, the theme parks. By the way, is it okay? I use theme park and amusement park interchangeably, and I know that there supposedly is a difference. Like, amusement parks just have rides, and theme parks have a theme, but I think the line is pretty blurry on what is a theme park and what is an amusement park. Because, even like amusement parks, like Six Flags, sometimes they'll have themed areas. And, how much theming does it take to make a theme park? And I guess the more like carnival it is, the more amusement park it is. Speaking of carnivals, planning on doing state fairs. That's still a major part of this channel. I've got some state fairs that I want to knock out this year. This is a multi-year project. We're gonna try to visit as many state fairs. I'm gonna try to visit all 50 state fairs. Actually, there's not 50 state fairs. I will try to visit as many state fairs as exist. Some states don't have state fairs, but yeah, that's going to be a big thing coming up this summer and fall. And like I said, the amusement parks, theme parks are all starting to open up. So I'll be traveling, doing those, and yeah, and then into haunt season from there. I don't know how many haunts I'll be doing this year. Still be part of this channel, but I may just be picking a few, hand-picking a few haunts this year instead of trying to do a haunt every single night. Because I think sometimes you guys get sick of hearing me scream for a month straight. So I may just pick, hand-pick some very select haunts this season, or some unique haunts. Yeah, I haven't begun that process yet. So this is why I get wrapped up in this. Why I have a hard time, setting down and relaxing, because I got all this stuff looming over my head. But right now, like I said, we are racing back up the Mississippi River, back north, because I have an event on June 1st. And I guess I can just tell you, it's not a huge secret. June 1st at the Volo Auto Museum, they are debuting a permanent installation of the Rock-afire Explosion, the animatronic band. And currently there's only one permanent version of the Rock-afire Explosion on public display. There's a few private collections. Smitty's Super Service Station, owned by my friend Damon, he has a private showing that he's invited me out to. But Billy Bob's Wonderland in West Virginia is, one of the showings where you can just walk in anytime they're open and see it. And Volo is going to open up the second completely public version of the Rock-afire Explosion. So I'm going to be there in Volo. They asked me to come out, and I was more than happy to come out. So I want to be there. The debut, the first show of the new Rocket Fire Explosion installation at Volo Auto Museum. Oh, Volo's a great attraction. They have some other animatronic bands. They have some like one-off animatronic bands. They have the Pirate Band. They have a version of the King. My friend Jared set up for them the giant animatronic lion. So some animatronic goodness there. Always fun stuff at Volo. So I'm looking forward to that. But I also had to keep that in mind during the whole Mississippi River road trip, because I knew that at June 1st I had to be back up at the top of the river. I could have done it in reverse. I could have started in Louisiana, but I really wanted to start with the river and flow with the river. So that's why I started in Minnesota. But that's where we're headed. We're racing up that way. And then going to be visiting the Rocket Fire Explosion for their premiere concert at Volo. I'll be there on June 1st. And then summer, I'm just going to be probably a lot of focus this summer will be the amusement parks. What amusement parks do you guys want to see me visit? Leave a comment in the comments section. Which ones do you want me to check back in? Which ones do you want me? Is there any that I haven't never visited that you'd like to see me see for the first time? Please leave some comments in the comments section. I would love to hear those suggestions. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hearing me ramble here, because I got a lot of driving to do today. I didn't want to necessarily film. My idea was the Memphis Zoo. That would have been intense, and I probably wouldn't have got into my hotel room till 11:30. So hopefully I will get in a few hours tonight. I'm not going all the way to Volo tonight. There's actually another attraction that I haven't seen yet that I'm going to try to check out tomorrow that I'm hoping to catch. So yeah, a lot of stuff I'm excited about for the summer into the fall, and I hope you guys will join me for that. Of course, if you like these videos, consider subscribing. It does help me out. We're getting pretty close. Getting pretty close to 500,000 subscribers. You know, that's a goal of mine. I don't think I'll ever reach 1 million, but I think we can get halfway there, and I think hopefully in the next upcoming months we can do that. If you'd like to help out with the channel, there's always Patreon. There's always the pins in the Etsy shop. I'm going to be trying to add some stuff to the Etsy shop besides pins. Also Cameo, doing the cameos still. Love doing the cameos. All that's in the description. And until tomorrow, my friends, this one's in the bag.